Hey AfterBuzzers, welcome to an all-new Shadowhunters after show here at AFTERBUZZ TV. Tonight we're going to be breaking down Season 2, Episode 7, titled, How Are Thou Fallen? We are so excited to talk about this episode, so stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin!
Hello, AfterBuzzers. Thank you again for tuning in to another Shadowhunters after show here at AfterBuzzz TV. I'm your host, Sam Davidson. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at SamD43. I am followed by one lovely person over here. Just kidding. Becca, Dakota T. Jones and Becca Brown, guys.
What's up, guys? You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at Mr. Dakota T. Jones.
Hi, y'all can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Becca B Talks TV, and Sam's here.
Sam's here. You guys can find me at SamD43 on Twitter and Instagram, just so you're invited to the joke. Becca was taking a Snapchat earlier, and everyone was introducing themselves. By everyone, I mean Dakota.
Yeah.
Very excitingly, but she was like, oh yeah, Sam's here, and I'm in the back waving. So I'm here, and of course, guys, don't forget to follow us at AfterBuzzz TV.
Yes.
And we're in the live chat. I know a bunch is all over the place, so, you know, keep on chatting. I really, really liked this episode.
Yeah,
episode.
it was very happening. There was a lot happening. Jace was doing a lot.
He was.
He was activating all different types of runes in bed. That was interesting. That was very something that Freeform had taken to the next level with this little scene.
Yeah, I was like, when we were talking about it earlier, I was like, wait.
He's like laying there like,
wait, Freeform?
yeah.
Yeah, I have a lot to say about that scene.
Oh,
Put
yeah.
this candy away. Sorry.
Oh yeah, happy Valentine's Day to everyone
Yes.
who believes in Valentine's Day.
Yeah, I don't believe in Valentine's
Did
Day.
you see the cute little videos on Shadowhunters TV Instagram where Clary was sending a direct Valentine to Valentine?
Oh, yes.
Those were cute.
I did. Well, I mean, anything Kat does is really cute.
True.
So let's start talking about the opening. We'll talk about the teaser, and then we'll kind of go by characters and storyline. But dun, dun, dun. The teaser was really cool. I felt like because a lot of times they're teasers, which are the first few minutes of an episode right before it breaks to, you know, Shadowhunters and the whole opening. It's what happens before that.
Yeah.
And for for this show, for me, it just is like a big extension and not like a normal teaser. But this one felt like a normal teaser because all this cool stuff happened. Cleophas is exactly what we were afraid of.
Yeah.
What did you guys think about that?
I was honestly optimistic about the whole thing, thinking, oh, you know, it's going to be fine. It's all going to be good. She's going to be doing things for good. But then totally went with how most of the people thought it would. What about you, Becca?
I didn't trust her. I don't like her.
I like her as a character. I'm really happy that
but
they've introduced her.
Well, it's complicated because she's like that person that I don't trust, but kind of like at the same time because she's interesting and she brings something to the show.
Yeah.
I agree, actually. It's like different than Aldertree, right?
It's
Who
like-
we kind of just hate. We don't like
I
anything
like
about
him.
him. Really?
Yeah. Like,
Oh, you like his
Oh.
accent.
No,
No.
it's not just that. I like his acting. I like how he pits people against each other. It makes for a great villain.
I'm gonna call her Cleo, but
Me too.
I like.
I mean, so does Luke. Luke calls her Cleo, so it's fine.
So we're going to say Cleo.
I like Cleo because she's more three-dimensional than other characters, so to speak.
Agreed.
Wait, what do you mean by that?
Like, there's a lot of layers to her.
Okay.
I have to say, when I opened the chat, I saw something that I think summarizes this whole show from Rian. It says, I don't think Valentine cares, TBH. And I was like, summary of Shadowhunters.
Well, we're going to get into that later in this episode, but he didn't seem to care as much as we thought he would about Jocelyn's death.
Yeah, I was expecting him to have like this cry out of anguish and turmoil and being so upset, but he just like skipped right on over. Does he know? I mean, I'm
Maybe
sure
a
he
little.
knows.
Yeah, well, because Luke even like mentioned that like you killed the love of your life at the end of the
And
episode.
he didn't blink?
Yeah, we'll talk
Wow.
about that because I have a lot to say. But we have Valentine, this angel,
Yeah.
who I feel like we briefly heard his name at the end, Ethereal or something. Guys, please tell me because I know that was off. And
Say ethanol?
I thought it was
It sounds like-
Ethereal.
Oh, okay. I was like, ethanol.
Yeah.
I was like, sounds like something I've heard before, but probably not.
I liked him. He was like the cutest little old man.
Oh, I know, but he
Yeah.
was a little scary. I will say.
he was.
He was like,
And his wings were very interesting. I was kind of like, he was kind of like a scary angel, but kind of that cute old man that maybe just has kind of stopped taking care of himself after a while, and he's
kind of looks like
scraggly.
Birdman. Did you guys ever see that movie? It won Best Movie a couple years ago.
I know what you're
of
talking
the year.
about.
Oh.
And it like that freaked me out, and so did Black Swan. And for me, I
Black
just
Swan
thought of those two
So
things.
You're not a bird person.
I can see the Black Swan thing.
Yeah, it was a little weird. But so Valentine has taken this angel, and I would love people in the chat to just chime in talking about this angel.
I'm not even gonna try to say it. Ethereal.
Ethereal? Thank you, Adriana.
Oh,
I'm sure that
oh.
I butchered that, but
I wasn't that wrong.
yeah, you were pretty right.
Yeah, okay. So he's torturing Ethereal. I'm going to say that. And I love that we're getting to see Clary's, like, what makes her different.
Yeah.
So she can hear when he screams. He's, like, calling out to her.
He's like, no.
Is it because she's special, or is he specifically targeting her to help him?
I think that she's special, and Valentine knows that this is going to somehow draw Clary out of the woodwork because he needs her for something, or he wants to figure out this whole ruin situation that she can create. So I think he's doing it purposely to activate the soul sword, but then also to kind of lure Clary back into his grasps after he lost her the first time.
Well, we know she's special, but what bugged me is I think she needs to, before speaking and making herself sound insane or different, etc., which could like potentially be dangerous. Think about it.
Well, I feel like the anger that we were talking about that seemed missing, and sadness and grief since her mother died, I think that's actually starting to come out now, finally.
Yeah.
Which I'm happy about, because I was like, that's unrealistic.
Yeah. I still wish I could see more of her anger.
I think we will.
like,
I think
know.
it's going to be like a slow burn, but it's going to become a big flame.
Because, I mean, I wouldn't be functionable, like, at all. I know she has, like...
I don't know if functionable is a word to come.
I think it is.
Functionable?
I'll
Yeah.
look it up.
Look it up.
Functionable in the dictionary.
It is now.
It is now. But I would not be able to function. Let's just say that.
Function is a word.
Okay. But
Yes.
I wouldn't be able to, because it's one of those things where my mom is everything to me. And if I lost her, like, I would not be able to slay demons. I would not be able to slay the new Shadowhunters that Valentine's creating. I wouldn't be able to do anything. But she's still out there kicking A, doing all these things, and I'm just like, girl.
I think
She's
that
badass.
maybe once she avenges Jocelyn's death, then that's when she'll break down. Because I do understand that. Avenging her death and then grieving.
Yeah.
Because there's like the 7 stages of grief, and right now we haven't really seen very many
What
steps.
stage are we at right now?
I don't know.
I'm not sure. I'm
don't
not
know.
sure which stage of grief, but I think we're starting the stage that is
We already
Pissed.
experienced denial.
I think
Yeah.
she's just pissed, and that's her step.
yeah.
Anger.
Let's talk about some Izzy and Yin Finn, and like how it's kind of, I love how each character is like getting a little taste of her crazy.
Yeah, definitely. I think that she's definitely kind of
crazy.
proving her crazy to everyone. I am kind of a little bit surprised that they've drugged this on for so many episodes now.
Me
like, we
too.
get the whole Yin Finn thing, like, you know, whatevs. But then after a while, it's like, okay, we're still on this. We're still on this. I'm wondering how many episodes it's going to take, because if they can forget Jocelyn's death in like an episode, like, I wonder how long it's going to take them to forget about this Yin Finn situation.
I understand what you're saying.
I feel like the show, you know what I mean? Like, they move on so fast from everything. Like, oh, she died, cool, whatever, moving on. And then this thing, they're just stuck on it. So it must have placed some great significance if it's going to be worth more screen time than Jocelyn's death.
Yeah, it's a good point. But also, what I did like about this episode is that life must go on, and you can't just like, and I don't want to watch a TV show that is a mourning, like they're mourning. And I think that that's part of the reason why they dealt with the death the way that they did, because
Yeah.
who wants to watch people crying all the
Yeah.
time? That's why I liked this episode, in the past 2 episodes, actually the best, because it wasn't so dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, we watched
true.
for the action and mystery of the show.
Yeah, and I mean, I love what they're turning it into. We have a scene between Clary and Izzy when Izzy's so pissed at her.
Yeah.
I was like, Izzy, damn.
I liked it because I thought it was very realistic, because this whole time they've been like girl power, and I'm obsessed with the relationship, and I think it's great that it's like they're not pitting women against women, but it's unrealistic if they never get in any fights. So I was excited to see a little bit of tension, because they've always been just so cool. So I'm excited to see a little bit of tension, but then I hope it's resolved and they can move forward very soon.
What was that line that she said when she's like, oh, the togetherness line. She's.
Oh yeah, I'm kind of over this togetherness.
I'm kind of over this. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, girl,
Like,
find your chill.
I was like, oh my gosh.
Well, you guys,
I was like, is this a breakup?
I think that part of the reason that Izzy is like that is because she's Ani and Finn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's, you know, I don't think they
Affects everything
normally...
about her.
Side effects.
And then, you know, she has this scene with Magnus. Why is wrong with me?
Same.
Wait, why is what?
I always like Magnus.
Oh yeah, Magnus.
Same.
Yes, and I want to say Magnus really badly.
Magnus. Sounds like a badass.
I told you because I knew a guy in college named Magnus, and it just won't. Anyways,
Doesn't that sound like a badass TD? Magnus.
what are you pointing at, Becca?
I liked her other scene too. Later on
What scene?
with Simon.
Whose?
Oh yes, okay. So we had the Magnus scene with Rufus, who I think we might get to know more about because he was very like curious about what was going on with his storyline.
He was banned from what, the United States or North America. He was banned from North America indefinitely, but apparently he's back for some reason. So Magnus kind of waves him away with his little hand.
Do you think Magnus is lying? Like, do you think he's lying that he believes Izzy? Because I think that he definitely knows something is off. Maybe because he's so, like, looped up in Alec and taken away that he doesn't want to, like, believe that his sister is a drug addict.
I don't know. I could kind of see that. She's very good about, in certain situations, being able to snap and not be shaking anymore and, like, kind of hold herself together for the time being to have a conversation. And then when they leave, she kind of falls apart again. So I think that she kind of saved the situation. In Magnus's face, I feel like he did believe her in the end. Like, oh, I'm sorry. Okay. But he's going to detect it later on and then go from there because I think that it's going to come back up again to where he's going to notice something.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we also had that Simon scene that Becca wants to talk about. That was awesome. I loved it too, Simon and Izzy.
Yeah, and I kind of felt Izzy's maybe jealousy.
Attraction towards him?
I don't think so.
No.
I'm all for Sizzy, but are you talking about whenever she's there
Yes,
at the bar?
when
Okay.
they're at the bar.
Because it's very obvious that she's only using him because she's thinking, oh, vampire venom, I need it. So wouldn't it be funny if you bit me? It's like, really?
He's like, me? I
So-
wrote down what he said. It was, do you mean me bite you with my fangs?
Right. Which is totally, she's saying she wants it so bad that she's going to have him bite her so that way she can kind of get some yin fin in her system because the venom.
It reminds me of True Blood in a way because vampire blood, if humans drank it, like they could drink it recreationally and it'd be like taking ecstasy times 10.
Oh, wow.
So I feel like it's kind of that almost, but with Shadowhunters.
Wow.
No, I was feeling Sizzy in this episode.
I want to feel them. Not like that, but I want to feel them. But I don't think this is a genuine moment.
No,
this
it's definitely
Izzy
not.
being desperate because she's a drug addict and is just trying to use anyone she possibly can with her flirtatious ways so she can get her way, so she can, cure her anguish and...
Her anguish. Well, see, I don't even know if
Izzy's
she's hurt
counselor.
anymore.
Huh?
I said Izzy's counselor.
I know, I'm Izzy's counselor. She meets with me 2 times a week. She's almost off Yen Fin.
Oh, almost. You signed a confidentiality agreement.
Oh,
I
whoops.
mean, like, you're totally breaking the rules here.
You guys won't tell anyone.
I think, I think it was an Easter egg almost for the future. Because
Okay.
last season, I don't know why, like, when the show started,
I was all Team Sizzy.
the first few episodes, I was like, I see this. And then it's gotten so far away from it. But for me, I was like, oh, maybe they're just, like, reminding us that,
Yeah.
like,
That they
this can be a
exist.
thing. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm so into Maya and Simon right now, and I know that's kind of
was.
heartbreaking, but like I was really into them. I was really rooting for them.
I was into that.
Yeah. So
Maya was into that.
Yeah, well, let's talk about Simon's entire journey because he is getting this like A storyline.
Yeah.
He got the A storyline for the episode. Not really. I mean, Clary obviously was a close second, but to me, this was like the Simon show,
It was like the Simon dating show.
and I loved it. I loved it so much.
Me too.
It was the perfect Valentine's Day episode. Or
Yeah.
Oh
Valentine's
yeah,
Week
yeah,
episode.
yeah. I bet they kind of planned that.
So
I was
Probably not.
probably not, to be honest. I was really excited to see his storyline. I was really upset when Jace came in and decided to try to make him. Jace is all types of mixed up this episode. He's
Okay.
very. He's not himself, which I get because he's hurting. But at the same time, he's so rude to Simon, basically saying, you should not be yourself. You need to be someone else. You're an idiot type of thing.
It was weird, but I loved it.
Really?
Yes, I was very entertained by the whole thing.
I was really entertained by it too. I was like, okay, getting some dating advice from like someone who's pretty much the opposite of him.
I just loved how when he was trying to mimic Jace's, like, he's like, all right, you need to be better. He's like, Simon like pooched his lips out and was like trying to be Jace. He's like, I'm just doing what you're doing. He had a spot on impersonation because that's what he does. He kind of pooches his lips out a little bit. He kind of squints and
Yeah.
He's like, Simon Lewis.
But then what was so cool, which is like kudos to Alberto, when Jace decided to put the rune on to shapeshift into Simon.
that was interesting.
Because it obviously actually was Alberto. And he was just so good. He was Jace.
Yeah,
That-
I know.
yeah, that was
I
really
know.
good.
He did an amazing job of picking up on Jace's characteristics and being able to play that out to make it look like Jace was in his skeleton or his shell or whatever.
Yeah.
Definitely. I thought he had it down. Even whenever he was talking to Maya and was acting all cool, totally looked like Jace.
Right. Well, and no, but what tripped me out was like there was a Simon trying to be cool, and then there was the Jace that shapeshifted to Simon, which Alberto played
Right.
both of those things. So yeah, I thought
It was a Simon show.
yeah, it was awesome, and he's quickly. I mean, I think he's always been like my second, third favorite character,
Yeah.
but and it was to me the first few episodes of this. I liked it because I love this show, but it wasn't like what I wanted to watch over and over again.
Yeah.
And I'm a rewind girl.
Everyone's saying that Jace's like attitude in the scenes where he's trying to tell Simon like don't be yourself is book Jace.
Yeah, it's like actually who he is. I
Okay,
guess.
Isaac. Yeah,
he's
Isaac R
arrogant in
says
the
he's very
books.
arrogant in the books, which I totally picked up on when I was just reading that first one that I was reading. Definitely the Jace that most of the people were used to in the books. And I don't know if he's here to stay or here to go, but
Hopefully here to go.
he's it was
I think
intense.
he's kind of hot. Anyways,
course.
I have a lot to say about Jason in a minute, but before that, I want to talk about Simon and Maya.
Yeah.
Love it.
I like when they're like awkward.
I know.
They're very awkward.
I'm on Team Maya with the Simon thing. I like awkward Simon and like not.
I'm
like,
trying to think of what our name was for them.
It was either Myman or Smaya.
Smaya?
I guess Myman it is.
Don't
I
be
like
don't be so down. Smaya.
Yes, that was
Smaya.
good. We should clip that and send it to Alicia.
Yeah, we
Don't
should.
be so down, Smaya.
I'm obsessed with her as a new character. Her character development. I'm here for her to stay.
She's
Me
so
too.
good. She's an amazing actress.
Yeah.
Like we just got a taste of her when we interviewed her, but she's so natural.
I think I'm falling in love with her. Like, to be honest, not gonna lie. She's so beautiful. She's
Dakota
got the
just looked at me
cutest
so
smile.
seriously, you guys.
I'm serious.
Like he
though.
comes home to mom and is like, "Mom, I think I'm falling in love with her."
But her smile, her attitude, even her willingness to be like, all right, you need to figure this out first, and then maybe we'll have something in the future.
Well-
I was just like, oh my gosh, can we please meet and be a thing?
Well, I think what we're also impressed with is that she has great like. How many episodes has she been in so far?
I think 3.
3?
Maybe
yeah,
4.
And she's already developed ridiculously great chemistry with all the cast
I know.
that she's worked with.
Yeah.
You'd think she has been in it from the beginning.
I hope that she stays, and I hope Cleophas stays in the rest of the series.
I'm
I
not
could
so
really like
sure about Cleo,
I don't
but
think she's gonna stay.
yeah,
Maya
I know
probably
that
will.
Maya. No, I know that Maya has been like. I think she even said when she was here, kind of that like her role. Maybe she said it to me personally that her role was going to be like a lot bigger in
Yeah.
To Be.
Oh, okay.
To Be.
I think
Or
she did
not
say
to
that.
be.
Or not to be, that is the question. But, you know, the Simon and Clary thing is getting in the way, and I'm just kind of sick of someone do something. And she acted all jealous, and, you know, it was almost like a mean girl thing. Like,
Who?
Clary, it was
Clary.
manipulative, which
Oh,
he's
yeah.
like, do you not want me to go? She's like, oh, I have to go anyways.
I was like, okay.
She's super jealous.
She's super jealous. I've never seen
Well-
her kind of like that, especially with a guy. So I was kind of like, okay, I see it. You have regular human emotions. Yes, you're a shadow hunter, but we kind of saw her emotions get out, her like human mundane emotions. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
oh, okay, well, I'm kind of jealous. I don't know. I liked it.
And as we keep progressing, I feel like the predictions we're making that Simon and Claire are gonna have a little small thing. It's gonna happen.
Yeah,
I mean, after seeing the teaser for next week.
Oh, God, I don't even know. I don't even know about that part. But more happiness. I want to talk about more happiness, which is Malik.
They've had a lot of character development
They
within the
have.
past 2 episodes.
They've been on some they've been on a real level of real level of romance is happening.
I know,
with
it
Malik.
scares me. I'm like, something bad's going to happen.
Yeah, it feels like
So
they
a
were
conflict's
not
gonna
sure.
happen.
They were not sure. And then they've been together a few days, and they're like, all right, let's have sex.
They got into it too quickly.
Well, has it really just been a few? I mean, I keep on forgetting because
I feel
maybe
like
it's been like 2 weeks.
I don't know.
You don't think it's been 2 weeks?
I don't know, but all I know is, I mean, it's very obvious in the show that Magnus is kind of like, yo, maybe we should pump the brakes. I'm afraid you're gonna leave me if we move too soon. But then Alec is like, I've never experienced this before because I've never had this emotion towards anyone besides, you know, he liked Jace for a long time, but he's never actually played it out and really been in a relationship. So I feel like he's freaking out. He's like, okay, well, that's the next step is sex. And I feel like he does what a lot of young people do, and they just fling themselves because they're like, this is what I guess I'm supposed to do, so I'm just gonna go for it. But in reality, they've only been together for like a little bit. They haven't known each other that much because he's always having to run away whenever they're about to have alone time. So I think Magnus was right. Let's just take a chill pill. But obviously, Alec took the wrong type of pill.
I just love how no matter what, whenever we talk about Malik, no matter if it's like a good scene in a good episode for Malik or a bad episode for Malik, everyone on the chat starts like writing Malik in all caps.
Oh, I know. And Fandom's Will X Collide says there's a lot of controversy in this episode.
There is.
From the books to the show. There's a lot of like differences, I guess.
Okay. Well, I mean, so this episode changed a lot of things because I was like, well, this episode, they don't know what book they're talking about.
Yeah.
But so it changed a lot of things. Okay. I like that. And I'm glad that they're establishing this too with all of you book readers out there. Because, you know, that, like, you don't know what's going to happen. It's not going to be the same show.
Right.
I mean, with the Vampire Diaries, it was based off a book series, and so was Pretty Little Liars. Mm-hmm. And they went so far off of that. And, I mean, I know that this is different. I do think this is different. Woo!
I was like, what's that?
But, yeah, don't you think this is different than those shows, though? Because at least with Pretty Little Liars, I know you guys watch.
Oh, yeah.
The books are, they veer so far off of them.
For Pretty Little Liars, I didn't ever read the books.
I never read the books either at all.
I read a couple, actually.
Did you like them?
Characters who died in the first book are still alive now.
Yeah,
in that show.
it's very,
Spoiler
very,
alert.
very different. Same with the Vampire Diaries. So I don't know, maybe that's turning into this.
Yeah.
But for me, I thought from the get-go that, like, Cassandra Clare is, I mean, she has things to say.
She has a lot to say.
She does have things to say. I saw it the other day.
Yeah, so I don't know if I'm just very interested to see how they're adapting this because it does feel different. Movies, they try to take it, like, verbatim.
Yeah.
Make a few changes. TV, it's questionable.
Right.
So they can have the series go on for a longer amount of time.
Yeah,
though.
I get that.
Because with the movies, it's like 2.5 hours. Mm-hmm. Okay, done.
And then a show,
With
it's a lot longer.
It's like,
than
how
that.
many hours have we seen so far of the show? More than 2.5.
Yes, that's
Definitely.
I spent a lot of hours of my life watching this show.
Oh my gosh.
More
we
than
have.
3.5.
But people in the chat are saying things like, Magnus didn't give his consent, and we don't know what happens in that bedroom.
We don't. The door closes, so we can't really make any assumptions. He could have pushed him off for all we know.
Yeah.
Or he could have been like, you know what, I really did want to have sex with you, but I'm kind of worried about it. But you know what, if you really feel like you're sure, then cool. So I wouldn't go straight to like the whole consent thing because
yeah.
I think that you know, if Magnus really was uncomfortable with something, he would say it. And he was uncomfortable with it, but I feel like he would push him off. I feel like Alec wouldn't force himself at all.
No, God, no. And he's
No.
been around for freaking like thousands of years, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not gonna be like, he's fine.
But even if he was, because, you know, like some people who do it a lot and one time they decide not to, no means no, which I get, but he didn't say no. He was just saying, I'm worried that you might leave me afterwards. So I feel like the whole consent thing, it's not an issue because I feel like, well, like you said, we don't know what happens in that bedroom, so we can't make assumptions.
Yeah, and let me just say, like, that's basically a heterosexual relationship, too. Like, but it's a guy meets a girl, and he's like, hey, it's okay. And the girl's like, I don't want you not to call me after. And then he's like, I promise, I will. I mean, I get it's different with Alec, but, like, girls are kind of finagled into doing that all the time.
Yeah.
But
It doesn't make it right, but then again, I feel like if Magnus really didn't want to, Alec would respect that, I think.
absolutely.
I think so. I think they respect. I think they're on a level of respect that's.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I didn't, like, think it was so terrible, because we don't even know what happened.
Melissa Davis says, and we didn't get to see nothing but got a stupid sex scene with Jace.
And just to touch on that sex scene with Jace, there's two things I want to talk about. One is the girl. Was she a Sealy?
She's a Sealy. And
I was
a lot
like,
of people
what's
were,
on her face?
a lot of people were mad because they said that he wouldn't do that in the books, like sleeping with Sealy's wasn't a thing or something. I don't know.
Well, he just didn't make it clear. There was one line Maya said about Sealy's being in the bar, but literally I had to watch it twice to be like, what is that?
Because he was throwing himself at Sealy's in the bar, and then he was sleeping with a Sealy, and like,
Why is he choosing Sealy's?
I don't know, maybe because I don't know.
They're easy.
I was gonna say that, but I
I don't know,
don't want
maybe
people to
because
get
I
mad at
don't
me.
know.
I don't know.
He's like, I'm really glad you said
Really
that.
good answer.
You said
I
it.
don't know.
You said it, not me.
Maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that was weird, and also, you know, it was very sexual for Freeform, but then it's like, it looked like her pants were off, and she was straddling, but his were on, so they're like, okay, you can do this, but you got to put some pants. You can't make it seem like he's not wearing any pants.
Well, I mean, she literally had her breast covered like this, but then I'm like, okay, they're apparently having sex, and then after she goes away, he's magically got underwear on, like.
No, he had them on when he was on top of her. Like, I saw, he had, like, something, it looked like boxers or
So,
something.
I mean, they weren't having sex yet?
I don't know. I don't know if Freeform was just like, you gotta throw some shorts on that kid.
Yeah, I guess.
Like, we enough is enough,
I
guys.
know. I guess. Did she have anything on?
It looked like she did not.
Well, if so, it's kind of stupid because it's like, oh, okay, so the girl gets to be completely naked, but the guy has to wear shorts. We can't show any of him, but we can show everything girl. It's like, don't objectify women.
You know, I can see that. Let's see, but you couldn't tell he was wearing underwear until he flipped over. Okay.
I couldn't
Yeah,
actually.
I couldn't either. And then afterwards, like, oh, he puts them on
No,
quick.
I was because I was like, oh, she's naked. Is he naked?
I mean, let's put two and two together. We thought they were. They were kind of doing some stuff.
Well,
I know. I was like, wait, am I still on Freeform?
Yeah, the School Geek 2.0 says that he would not sleep with Sealy's in the book.
interesting.
I wonder why.
Well, and it's like an interesting choice for them to make if he was so adverse to it
Yeah.
in the books. Then that brings us to when Luke goes to... Well, no, before all of that, we haven't even really talked about the Luke-Cleo, all of that. So, you know, Cleo comes... What do you have to say, Becca?
Fandoms will collide. Says Todd, the showrunner, said he wished he could rewrite and reshoot the last Malik scene in the episode on Twitter.
Oh,
Ooh, that's interesting.
I wonder why. Wait, which episode was their last
This episode. Or is that what he's talking about,
Yeah.
this episode?
Which scene?
The one that we were just talking about.
Oh, okay. He wishes he could reshoot it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Interesting.
It didn't bother me very much, but, you know, I guess a lot of people are kind of bothered by it.
I guess so.
Okay. But yeah, you know, Cleo comes back, we get all of that, and Luke doesn't trust her. Clary is being very, you know, she tunes into... I love that she picked up on the Clarissa thing.
Yes. She was smart.
Oh, yeah, because only Valentine calls her Clarissa, right?
I was like, oh, this is getting good now. This is the kind of like mystery
She's like,
stuff I like.
I know.
She's figuring
And
something
she
out.
was extra strong tonight, or was it just
Oh,
me?
she like all of a sudden turned around and like kicked her in the stomach.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I was like, Cleo's been through a lot. First of all, she was like hurting herself to make it look like she was attacked by the like Valentine. and
Typical
his men.
crazy move. I mean, people do that all the time in TV shows and
I'm like,
movies.
I would not have the mindset to hurt myself to prove myself. I'd be like, I'm out.
Well, you're
I'm
not insane.
Yeah, I'm not.
Melissa Davis says Claire really almost pissed me off, and it bugged her that she wasn't being smart, and then she was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was proud that she was smart. I was like, yes, I knew you were capable of making things.
No, I was like, oh, you're not as dumb as I thought.
Oh, I was like, okay,
Right?
hold on. She was like, tase Luke.
Where did she get a taser from?
She got it from him. It was on him.
She took it from him?
Off his
I
belt
didn't even
loop.
notice that. That is, and because last night before I saw the episode, I saw like Kat and Isaiah, they took a photo and it's like, tonight didn't go so well for us, but we're good now.
I know. I was like, poor guy lost his love of his life, Jocelyn, and then gets tased by her daughter.
Yeah, and now he's in control, and he's like, she died, and I'm sure he blames himself in some way, shape, or form for that.
Yeah.
And now he's like, to hell if I'm gonna let you die.
I know.
Like, and she's just, so yeah, she tased him, left with Cleo. Then she gets another call from the angel, and Cleo, what do you have to say?
People were saying earlier that it was like giving them chills, and the calls from the angels, and I completely agree. I was like, what is happening?
I know. I was like, ooh.
It was intense, but my first thought was like every time she would tell people that she was hearing it was like, should you really be telling people?
I know. Like, she totally didn't tell anyone that she actually trusted, and then she just blabbed it to Cleo.
Yeah.
Well, she was hurting. Like, Cleo, I don't think she could hide it from Cleo because it seems as though it's kind of like a dog whistle or something.
Oh, yeah.
So,
like an electric shock collar or something.
yeah, and she's, asked what are you doing to me? And then she told Cleo she knows she killed her friend, the other Iron Sister.
Which I was like, wow. I mean, I get that
like,
she thinks that she's sketchy, but wow, that was a leap for Claire to be like, oh, I bet you killed her.
She was right.
I was like, dang, okay, she knows what she's talking about.
Yeah. And
It's like, you make those assumptions, girl.
Yeah.
but then when Cleo hears the same thing Clary does, because I thought that was really cool too. They did the ruin where she can like share her hearing.
Yeah, hearing activation or something.
Yeah, and then she's like, "Oh crap, Valentine isn't like really good." I mean, but he's been doing. I don't know. I'm just very confused. I hope they give a little bit more backstory how she really got into the side with Valentine.
Blackmail.
Yeah, I don't know. It was weird, and then she goes off, and they both go off to see Valentine. Because of the angel, and if he kills the angel, then the sword will be activated and all downworlders will die, correct?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, I think that
Something dark.
They need like a
and
lightning
twisted.
bolt and then the sword with an angel
And it
or
was
something
lightning,
like that.
and it
Yeah,
was lightning.
There's a big storm coming, yeah.
Yeah. And so meanwhile, Luke goes to get Jace when he's with his ladies and says, come on. Jace says no, and then he's like, it's Clary, and then he automatically kind of pops back up and goes to find her. And they find them, first of all, Jace goes straight with Clary. And Luke and Cleo go to be with Valentine.
Right, to kind of trick him.
Yeah, that scene was really good with
Yeah.
Valentine and Luke and Cleo. And it was sad, and I kind of wish it was like a flashback or something, I wanted to see it happen, everything they were talking about. What did you guys think about, that this is the part I was going to say, that Luke mentions you killed the love of your life, when are you going to stop? And yeah, Valentine barely bat an eye.
Mm-hmm. I was surprised. I was really thinking he was going to be so angry and letting out like a no type of situation.
I mean, based on the Valentine we know, I wasn't too surprised at his lack of reaction and lack of caring.
I
But
wanted to see it. Maybe that's it.
Maybe in a future episode, like maybe don't never seen him yet. Like don't count it out yet.
Yeah. And so while they're fighting, Cleo, and then they talk about being parabatized, which was a fun moment, I think, for both of the actors.
Yeah.
And Valentine gets away with Cleo. And then we have Jace and Clary on the roof with the angel, who everyone keeps on talking about, and that's awesome, but I still can't pronounce his name. So
Yeah.
someone send me like a video message if you can do that.
Yeah.
a voice message. He's on the roof and he has shackles on him. Clary and Jace, she figures out there's a rune to break the shackles, essentially.
Yeah.
And yeah, like we said, that was I thought it was well done. I thought it was cool.
I thought it was cool. I loved when the wings were activated and he was like, gave him that weird vision.
But he held both of their hands, and I mean, Clary is special, right?
Oh, yeah.
But what is it? Why is it because she's Valentine's daughter and they just wanted to target her, or she just literally is
I don't know. I think that honestly, you know how Jace was apparently, Jonathan, the brother, was apparently injected with demon blood.
Right.
I think that Clary was probably injected with angel blood, which means she has more powers because, like demon blood makes you evil, but then if someone was injected with angel blood, it would be amplified like goodness. So maybe she's able to shoot sunlight out of her palm because she's got more angel blood than normal people, normal Shadowhunters. Something along those lines, maybe. So maybe that's why she's special.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I also thought too, when he held both of their hands, the angel did. It seemed like Jace seemed surprised, and so did Clary, that he wanted to hold Jace's hand too. Like that,
Yeah.
if Jace was a demon, if he was this like devil, then would the angel really want to be like holding his hand like that? I thought it kind of showed both of them that, oh, maybe he isn't injected with demon blood.
Either that, or maybe this vision was just something that he really needed to show them
Okay,
both.
let's talk about this vision because I don't understand it.
Someone said I'm pretty sure that the vision was of Sebastian.
And he's like the demon that takes, what was it, taking the sword? Someone taking the sword,
You
but
are
then
right, Dakota.
Ooh,
What are you right about?
Probably about the angel blood injection.
Hey.
Tiffany says she heard the angel because she's injected with the angel blood. Oh my gosh. Check it out.
Yep.
oh wow, Dakota.
Dakota, good job.
Hey. That's cool.
But Jace being extra is a gift. I don't know what that means. That's interesting. Wow. Awesome. Good job. We read the books. Just kidding, What if we like actually did read the books and we were just joking, you guys, the entire
What if we
time?
show up one day and we're like, we read all of them?
No, it's like we've read
Yeah.
it this entire time. We've just been messing with you.
We've just been messing, yeah.
But but the thing is, okay, so they see like a demon take a sword, but then it seems to diminish and disappear. Not like disappear, it went somewhere else. It seems to have like exploded or something, and it's gone. Is that what you saw?
That's what I'm sorry, I yawned. That's what I saw. And I could see why it would be Sebastian, but I don't really get the full gist of it, and I think they don't either. So it's kind of like a teaser, like, hey, this is something that's going to happen, or this is something that I need to show you, but I'm only going to show you a little bit, and then it's going to fade away, and then you're going to have to figure it out yourself or wait for it to come to life.
Okay, so that's why he showed Jace too, maybe.
Yeah, so that way they could work together. I don't know, guys.
I get that too. Wait, what did you think about the whole thing?
Okay.
Jace has gifts too.
Yeah, Melissa says that Jace has gifts too, so maybe that's why he showed
surprising.
both of them. I could see it.
Yeah, I don't think that's surprising.
Maybe that's why he was so adamant on her not sharing with everyone that she has something special, because the clave is so easy to shut it down. So maybe he's like, hey, don't tell anyone because they will get all crazy. So maybe he has something to hide. That makes sense.
All right.
Claire, the School Geek 2.0's comment.
Clary was injected with angel blood. It was passed on because it was given to Jocelyn in a powder when Clary was still in the womb, not
I said
the
in
worm.
the worm. Okay, so she wasn't injected, but it was through a powder.
So Jocelyn had it in her too. Then
Interesting.
I don't know. I'm interested to see how that all plays out. On that note, let's get into some predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
You want to go first?
Sure.
Okay.
Ooh,
Yeah.
This is new.
this never happened.
I know. I'm like, oh shoot, this must be
This
good.
is new. It's not that good.
Okay.
That's why I just want to get it out.
Just go.
I'm so bad at predictions. But I don't think Cleo's gonna last much longer.
Okay.
Is number one. I think she'll last as long as she's effective and helpful. But I don't think it'll be for long. And then I want Maya and Simon to still be a thing, but it's not gonna happen.
It might if you saw the preview for next week.
Maybe.
I could see it. I think that we're going to get more Maya and Simon.
Yeah.
I don't think they're done with that. I think they just kind of scraped the surface and we're going to go back for it.
Agreed.
But I think it's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be difficult because Simon's going to profess his love to Clary, and then Maya's going to be like, you know what? Screw it, I want you. And then he's going to have to choose between two or figure out, oh my gosh, like what am I going to do type of thing.
Or I feel like it's gonna be a thing where maybe Maya's gonna be like, you should use me to make Clary jealous.
Ooh, I hope not.
One of those 80s teen movies.
Yeah.
Let me help you, yeah, type of thing. Did you see though the controversy because Cassandra Clare said something about, oh hey, Todd said something on Twitter about Simon's not going to be dating multiple people at the same time because that's just not his style. He's not done like that or something. And Cassie was like, are you offending the book readers because this, and this, and kind of snapped back. And he's like, my bad choice of words, apologies. And she's like, okay, good. It just seems like she seems kind of bitter. And like, I feel like the new showrunners of her do not have a good relationship because, you know, hit him up on his celly. You know what I'm saying? Don't lash out at him.
On his celly?
Yeah, don't lash out at him on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? Like, be an adult, call him, say, hey, I was offended by this tweet that you said. Let's talk about it. But don't do the whole Twitter, Facebook,
maybe delete
type
the
of thing.
tweet.
You know what I'm saying? Like, be an adult and go up and say, look, this bothered me. So I guess maybe he won't be going back and forth between two girls if that's what Todd said.
But in the book, he did.
Well, I think, you know, maybe they'll overlap just a little bit. Who knows?
Who knows?
Okay, so for my predictions, I think that Izzy is going to continue with this Yin Fen thing. It's going to get really bad to the point of, because Magnus said, I had a friend that almost died. So I feel like Izzy might, I could see Izzy's fate being really up in the air towards the end of 2A.
You think she might die?
She's not going to die, no. I don't think they're going to kill her, but it could...
That'd be a plot twist.
But, like, what if they did and then they had to bring her back to life? Like, I don't know. I know that's
Like
getting
Mona?
a little... Yeah, well, no, but with supernatural stuff. And I just really, really hope that Jace and Clary find out they're not siblings soon.
I thought that was what was going to happen whenever the angel held both of their hands. I thought he was going to let him know.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sam's like, please date.
I just, like, yeah, I really want them to. And
Sam's gonna jump into the TV pretty soon.
I think Jace, before anything happens, Jace needs to get tested, you know, to
From
make
the
sure.
Sealies?
Because he was kind of bouncing around with the Sealies. He needs to get tested because Clary is an angel and she does not need any infections.
oh my God, Dakota.
Wait,
that's
what
Okay, this is like
conversation did we just get into?
This is the second week in a row I've mentioned STDs. I don't get it. I don't know why, but I mean, people need to be careful about these things. Everyone in shows, they make it glamorous, like, oh, we're all sleeping around, happy dory, whatever. But at the end of the day, you know, what kind of example are you setting for kids? Like, these kids are going to think, oh, cool, I'm going to go screw around. And then guess what? They're going to end up with an infection. And then the magical TV people are not going to get infections.
The magical TV people?
Jesus Christ.
Go get tested.
Exactly.
Wow.
Go get tested, guys.
If you want any more of that talk,
Hit me up at Mr. Dakota T. Jones.
Wait, I have one more, though. And it's that Clary and Simon.
Claire and Izzy date.
Yeah, Clary and Izzy just decided to ditch all the guys and that they're meant to be together. No, Clary and Simon are going to try. They're going to kind of have a thing for a few days.
Yeah, no, I think so.
And then they're both going to break out laughing and be like, I'm so glad we did this because
That's so funny.
We're best friends.
That would be
I think
really
they're gonna
funny.
be like, I think we're better off as friends.
Yeah.
I could see that happening.
I hope so. That's kind of my
'Cause they're smart.
optimistic prediction. On that note, thank you guys so much for tuning in. One more time for everyone, where can we find y'all on social media?
Y'all can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Becca B Talks TV.
You guys can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at Mr. Dakota T. Jones, and I will be gone next week, but I will be sending much love to you guys, and I can't wait to tweet with you guys about the episode.
And where can, what other after shows can they find you on?
Oh yeah, you guys can find me on Revenge Body, which films on Thursdays, and I just finished wrapping up a series of unfortunate events, so that was cool. And in March, we have Baby Daddy and Young and Hungry coming back, so you gotta watch those.
Awesome.
And you can catch me on Beyond on Mondays and Dance Moms at 8 tonight.
Awesome.
Cool. You guys can find me, Sam Davidson, at samdavidsonentertainment.com, Twitter and Instagram at samd43. I just want to thank Blue Trimble Designs for this really cool choker that's supposed to keep me grounded. And you can find me tonight at 9 p.m. on Imposters, who literally has an Emerald lookalike as the lead, so you guys should check it out. It's only on episode 2, and please all watch Riverdale on Thursdays. It's so good. Thank you again, and we will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.